Good afternoon all, Mr. X Media here. I don't normally do things like this, but there's something that's just bugging me about Nigel Farage. Now, I've kind of known Nigel since 2014, my days in the UK Independence Party, and I've often wondered, you know, do we have anyone else on the centre-right of UK politics that's able to change the current trajectory that the country's clearly going in? A radical left-wing, you know, upside down, left is now right, ignore the evidence of your own eyes ideology. So I've taken a lot, like many millions of people, very most likely in the UK, I've paid a close interest in Nigel, but there's always been someone that's been niggling me, and I could never put my finger on it. And I'm not sure if I'm on the mark now, but I've got some issues with him. Gawain Towler was Nigel's director of communications at UKIP. He was Nigel's director of communications at the Brexit Party, and lately and formerly of the Reform UK Party. Now, one of the things that's come out over the last 2 months, which seems to have gone right under the radar, which I'm very suspicious about, is Nigel's former chief exec of Reform, even though he was only there for 2 minutes in that role, and Gawain, both now admitting, well, Gawain admitting anyway, that they've been passing names through Hope Not Hate since 2010. Look on Gawain Towler's Twitter feed, straight from his own lips. Now, he words it that we passed the odd name past Hope Not Hate. What? You do what? The ones that call us far right, all the horrible names under the sun, you do what? You pass names through Hope Not Hate? Nigel would have known about this. No two ways about it, Nigel would have known about it. And now Zaya Youssef has fired Paul Oakton from his role as CEO of the Reform UK Party, and now Gawain has been fired also. They say they resigned, moving on to new pastures, but that's political speak, for they got rumbled and sacked. Now, the exact reasons for that, I can't tell you. All I can do is look at the smoke. And we know now, when I say we, those that have been involved in, well, certainly been involved in UKIP, it answers a lot of mysteries that happened to us right up until the time and just slightly after Nigel left UKIP. Now, I won't bother going into specific things, but it answers a lot of questions to me. How Hope Not Hate were able to get hold of key strategic bits of information and twist it and lie like they do, when there was only a small handful of us that knew certain bits of the strategic. So well, let me give you an example. Actually, I will give you an example. Stoke-on-Trent by-election, to which Paul Nuttall, a good friend of mine, was standing as the candidate, and then had successfully taken over as leader of UKIP. We hired a house, rented a house for him, and literally within 2 days, Hope Not Hate had all of the details. All of the details. It was splattered across Channel 4. We had Crick up at the window on a ladder. All of the team were like, how on earth did they get that information? We hadn't even ordered carpets or furniture, and there it was, splattered across all the newspapers. And at the time, only 5 of us knew about it. But at the time when Hope Not Hate were caught, two key Hope Not Hate activists were caught staring through the windows and going round the back garden of this house. There was only 5 of us that knew about it, and 2 of them were close protection officers. One was a very good friend of mine, and the other one was one Paul Oakton. Now I can't prove it. I can't prove he leaked that information, but what I can tell you now is. But anyway, why does no one care that there's been an open admission by his former comms director that Reform UK used Hope Not Hate to vet its candidates? Why is this not news everywhere? Why isn't there people on the right? He's admitted it. So it's not just me. He's admitted it. And Gwaine said to me, "Oh yes, don't believe all the, all of the lies." And then within an hour, he's admitted that they were doing it because of certain bits of information I got from ultra reliable sources. He then admitted it. The point of me mentioning this is Nigel. Now Nigel comes out and says that Ukraine must join NATO. What? I'm sure most of you that are politically savvy, you've seen it. Nigel has said that NATO must join Ukraine must join NATO. I'm sorry, every time he opens his mouth now, my alarm bells are ringing. He's offered himself, laughably, as an ambassador between the UK and the United States. And when I say laughably, who would get in bed with a communist government? You know, who are never going to bend to what's better for a nation like Britain that bases itself on capitalism, not crony capitalism, proper capitalism, where if you want to work hard and you want to do well, you can succeed. You can buy nice cars and nice clothes and everything because you graft. Under a socialist communist state, they don't care.